Twit, welcome to Merrily Merrill. This is the part where I forget what I'm saying, and I think that it is time for an update vlog, as it were, and kind of a discussion, so to speak, on where this channel is going. Now, those of you who saw the last episode of Merrily Merrill Travel Adventures will understand that the series kind of came to a grinding halt upon seemingly finding a human remains. It was a proverbial death as well, because the channel started right when quarantine started, or around when quarantine started, and has grown into something that has kind of started to take shape, but as it is kind of in some projects that I start, it'll build for a while, and then it'll kind of come to a screeching halt, and you're not always sure why, but in the end it's because you have to build it in a new direction. So the last couple of episodes have been really dark, and have kind of made me think about, like, okay, well, where is this going? It can't keep going the way that it has been, because, simply speaking, it isn't... I guess in some ways it's become very structured, and I do like the kind of formula that the episodes have been taking, but I think that there's so much more that this channel can offer that it isn't, and the universe is so bored it's just throwing body parts. So what we're going to do is kind of explore the options of where this channel may be going. And I have some ideas, but you know what happens every time that you plan something, you know. And I feel that echoed in a lot of aspects of my life as well right now. There's so much that, I don't know. I know I'm exactly where I need to be, but at the same time, it feels so screwy, you know, and I never know what to do with myself when I'm not cooking, but I know that I can't just be doing what I was doing before either. So, as it usually does, the channel's kind of echoing what is happening in my life, and so I wanted to state here, at very least, my intention of where I'd like to take it, you know. I should also mention, I'm here today to celebrate an early Mabon. It is the second harvest, and it's always my favorite. Because, first of all, it's in September, and it's just something I've always vibed with. So, so I plan to be posting this vlog on Mabon. So, here's to it. Cheers. I am so grateful for every bit of good that has happened in the last year, and I should mention too that the things that are bad are also things that are good, because I know that while there has been a lot of proverbial death, that it's always for a purpose, and it always means that something better is on its way. Something is taking place. Something is building. So I have to trust in that. This month has been very abundant, but at the same time, like, in the last week, things have gotten so crazy, and, like, things that I've never experienced in my lifetime have just, every day this week, it's something insane, and it's like, to whom does this happen? So I delight in that aspect of my life, but it's, I don't know what the hell to do. It's real weird. And, there's an aspect of this channel that is emerging, and just in my life that has always been there, that it's like, I'm not like the rest of them. I'm not like the rest of mermaids. I'm not like the rest of people. And I woke up today, and today being what's today, like the 18th, something like that. And suddenly it feels like there's a plane of plexiglass between myself and the world, and everybody that I had been seemingly close to or building friendships with, suddenly it's like I'm on the outside again, and I should be upset, you know, because it's always people who I think are my friends, and then suddenly I'm whatever, in work situations or what have you. So I think that this is the universe's way to say, embrace it. If they don't want you in their club, don't be in that club. You know, if you're not doing it like the rest of them, do it like the way that you do it. And so if I'm not like normal people, and I know this, but I have to start living my life like I mean, I already do, but I just pretend to the world that I don't like it. I need to start embracing the fact that I'm a weirdo and figure out what that means to this channel and to my life. So, without further ado, let's get into the channel and exactly what changes are on their way. One thing that has happened that I'm extremely excited about is that I have obtained an affiliateship with Earth Harbor, which is a marine-based botanical line for the skin, and I don't think that's the right way to say it. It's I'm gonna be great at this, guys. I'm great at sales. It's it's a marine-based skincare line, and so they have moisturizers and they have serums. I'm not doing well with this already. Okay. All right. Making myself nervous when chatting it up to my phone in public. All right. Also, I got this coat for $5 just now, like within the hour, and it's lovely and it's satin. But for those of you who don't know, I have been working at Summer Massage for about 7 months, and it's a front desk position, so I have been you know, setting appointments and stuff like that. But I've also been building a knowledge base about their skincare line and about just kind of esthetician work in general, which is so far out of the realm of anything that I know about. I'm horrible with skincare. I've never taken good care of my skin, and when I got there, I kind of built a friendship with one of the estheticians there who kind of got me started on, I guess, more or less regimen, and I got just fascinated with the whole process and made it something that I incorporated it into my studies, right? So I kind of got curious about like the ingredients that they were using, and they used a lot of herbal extractions and things like that, and I have been into herbs for some time, so it got me curious as to like, oh, what herbs are they using? Could I potentially make this at home? And then of course the mermaid in me is like, can we make this with marine-based ingredients? And it got me on a search that led me to Earth Harbor, and Earth Harbor has all natural, organic, marine-based ingredients. They donate like at least 1% to, I'm gonna do an official spiel when I actually start promoting their stuff, but it's a really, really cool company. They do, they try and make all their packaging earth-friendly, and they donate to charitable causes, and what is it? I can't seem to remember right now. I will put in the information later because I'm a clod, but it's a company that I've been interested in for a while, just to try out their products and everything. And as I was planning the next Merrily Narrowed adventure, they came out with a product line, or they put a little teaser in there about a product line that directly coincides with the theme of the shoot that I was going to do. So I was like, all right, I'm really curious about this now. I applied for affiliateship and I got it. So they do have an influencer program as well, but you have to have a minimum of 2,000 subscribers, and I'm just not there yet. So as we build, we can still associate with the company and get familiar with the product and so on and so forth. Wellness has been a big part of something that I have been getting into, and something that I want to incorporate more in this channel as it progresses, you know, and that includes things like yoga, ballet, and exercises that can improve mermaiding. And of course, like, I would love to get into the mermaid swimming aspect of it, but I do think that that area in particular is pretty well covered by a lot of other professionals. I don't want to say it incorrectly. Paddy, P-A-D-I, is one of the schools, is one of the organizations out there that is trying to teach, you know, correct swimming technique and safety in the water. I'm really not qualified to do that, so I'm not going to include that here because that would just be a waste of everybody's time. But what I have been doing is exercises that that can strengthen just your ability to wield a monofin in whatever way you see fit, right? So part of that has been physical, and of course I would love to include some of the bodybuilding stuff that I've learned, but like all of the exercise stuff is down the line. Skincare, fitness. I like the makeup aspect. I'm not very good, but I've included it on this channel before, and I would love the opportunity to keep working on it with you guys, you know, my loyal fans. But I would like to have that physical aspect of mermaiding represented on this channel as well. I also think that it is good that Earth Harbor really encourages their influencers and their affiliates to do good for the environment and to try and do good for the world. And so it's going to encourage me to look at these adventures as an opportunity to do good. And part of that is I really want to, I would like to incorporate more interactivity in the adventures, right? So instead of just going to these locations, I would love to be able to incorporate like, you know, local foraging and things like that. And I guess sustainability, how to like protect and be sustainable if you partake in either mermaiding or foraging or anything like that, you know. When I was young, I got to go on this this field trip, and they kind of were just tromping around at the beach, and one of our counselors reminded us, every time you take a step, you're actually you're crushing sea organisms, you're disturbing their home. And so every time you go to the beach, you have to be very mindful of what you do and try and minimize the damage that you do while you're there. And that always stuck with me. Like, you don't think you're just going out into nature, walking around, you don't think that you're really causing any damage. So every time you like pick up rocks or you pick up shells, or you know what I mean, just even as far as, say, clamming, or I was looking into possibly there's an invasive species of sea anemone. This is a tangent, but that I had come across, that it would be like, hey, that would be cool to incorporate, and I'll tell you in a minute why that pertains to anything. But basically, A, I found out that there was like a fishing license involved, and B, I think that it is important not just to do something like that, but to have things, I don't really know how to go about explaining this part, but to have whatever it is that we do be good for the environment, or to I guess go into how we can do it in a way that is good for the environment. Farming for these sea anemones, these are a very invasive species, so it would do good for the seaweed population in the area to be able to harvest sea anemones. Again, like I said, a tangent, but here's why that is also relevant. I have mentioned in the past wanting to do a series called Selkies Make Poor Housewives, and I think I've recorded 2 episodes of it thus far. One of them I posted, it was like the HelloFresh thing that, I don't even know. That was a disaster. But the second one, I had filmed an entire episode of creating an Irish meal. God, I forget what it was for. It was for some sort of Gaelic holiday. And it didn't turn out to be... It was before I had edited any kind of cooking video before, and so it was just like an egregious amount of content. And I was like, you know what, this is not good enough to like make a video about. But that series is something that I really want to get started in the next year. Partially because I might be able to acquire the means to acquire the goods my friends. It's possible that the Selkie Tale may be in my near future, but that being said, I would love to plan for the series and the implications of what that brings to this channel. So the reason that the Selkie is important to me is because it represents the kind of the relationship between the whimsical creature and the mundane, right? So you have the Selkie, which is this magical creature, but when she takes her skin, she's kind of this like human that's not really like in her soul. She's not really human and just has to go about human stuff like she's not a mythical creature. And I relate to that. I do. I relate to that on a very deep level. So that is a big reason why I want to go forward with it. And on those episodes, I want to incorporate things like crafts. They can be mermaid crafts. They can be like any kind of foraging crafts, things like that. The fruits of the labor, I guess, are going to be on this Selkies Make Poor Housewives. Anything that deals with cooking, anything that deals with sewing, so on and so forth. And the cooking in particular, that has been something that I'm struggling to figure out exactly what the next step is with that as well. Those of you in the know that I am a cook, have been a cook, or a chef, or whatever the hell you want to call it, for probably about 14 years now, and it has like come to a point where I don't know if I can really continue, or if I should continue. You know, I've had a lot of issues in the last year with my back, and a lot of issues with just like not being able to hack it emotionally. Like, I don't want to fight every day just for the right to be there, but at the same time, I'm fighting for the right to be just like at an office job. So you know, I don't know where I stand on that. So I want to give myself an outlet for cooking and cooking creativity, so that no matter what happens in that regard, it can be dealt with, right? And I can have an outlet for that. I can share that with people who may or may not enjoy it. If you don't enjoy it, you don't have to watch it. There's plenty of stuff on YouTube that you could be watching instead of this. I don't encourage it because this is the best channel, of course, but if you have to hate on my stuff, just go somewhere else and hate someone else. There's probably more enjoyable things to hate as well. So I think being true to yourself has to be a main theme on this channel, and it has in the past, but at the same time there's been a great deal of like soul healing happening on this channel, and I apologize to those of you who like didn't come here for that. You came here for Mermaid Adventures, but surprise, I do it different. And surprise, I don't want to say that like I'm extremely whimsical, guys, don't get me wrong, but it's the type of whimsy that's like Grimm's fairy tales whimsy, where you read it and you're like, God, that's dark. Like, what is wrong with you? You know, that's kind of the vibes that I'm giving off here. It's like, if you come to my channel, I can't promise that you're not going to see something that has perished. I can't promise shit. I can't promise that if you come here, I'm not gonna swear, and I'm not gonna, you know, give you more or less dark or adult content. I mean, I'm usually keep it pretty PG-13, but I need to gear it towards my strengths, and my strengths have never been you know, I guess aimed at children. There's no other way to say it. I've always been, as an artist, geared more towards adults, and I think I have more to offer in that regard if I just embrace that and stop trying to like make myself be a thing that I'm not. I mean, I've never been child appropriate. I've never even been adult appropriate. I don't know why I expect suddenly to be able to perform at birthday parties. That's a horrible idea. Like, I don't even know if I would love that, honestly, because I'm so awkward. I'm so weird. If I had the caveat of being able to like do it and be quiet the whole time and not talk to people, I think I could pull it off, but I also don't know if I have that ability. I don't. So you know what? Like, it's going to be better at this point just to play to my strengths and to say, okay, yeah, I suck at a lot of things, but you know what I can do is do the hell out of being myself, which doesn't really help you in most situations, but it can if I just like go forth and do the thing and don't worry about if somebody else thinks it's appropriate. It's probably not. And if you're looking for something that is not going to ever offend anybody, you're probably not going to find it here. You're probably not going to be pleased. I'm sorry. You know, I recognize now that I'm like, before this, I went to the Goodwill, right? And I almost bought like this yellow mermaid jumpsuit that fit a man. You know what I mean? Like, I can't describe it. I almost bought it. And like a bright teal and silver sparkly mermaid kid's skirt that was in a large size. And I somewhat regret leaving these things behind, but I left them behind because they don't, it sounds stupid, they don't fit the right aesthetic. They're not me. They're mermaidy. But not everything mermaidy is the mermaid that I'm doing. You know what I mean? Not everything that people are doing as mermaids I relate to. And as usual, I find myself on the outside of this community. And not because the community has anything wrong with it. It's beautiful, it's accepting, it's loving, and I relate to all of those things tremendously. But at the end of the day, like, the way that I am and the way that I do things are going to clash with a lot of people. And I will never be okay with that, but I have to just, like, accept that. That's also a tangent. Can I just say, like, this guy's staring straight at me. Oh my god. I've got most of them covered. Trying to think of anything else. I think that Earth Harbor and Southeast Poor Housewives was the main bulk of what I wanted to convey on this this video, and being true to yourself, and I guess restating and affirming the themes of where this channel is going. I do want to incorporate wellness, but I think that in my attempts to get myself fit and well and everything last year, I may have made other people feel like they weren't good enough, and that's not the point of this channel at all. And certainly after doing like I guess it was a it was a really lame body build, bulk, and cut, but I built some muscle and I lost some fat, so it counts. Now I'm in the off season and I gained 20 pounds. So going through that cycle, I recognize that that it's difficult to put that on anyone else. If that's a thing that I want to do, that's fine. But I don't want to express that in my channel in a way that is going to make anybody feel like, I don't know, like they have to diet or anything. Like, it has a weird effect on people, so just don't worry about it, you know? A thing that I have to consider is my own health issues, and so that will definitely be mentioned, because a lot of the things that I do is not geared towards weight loss, it's geared towards pain loss, it's geared towards, like, mental fog loss. And so here I am, drinking a beer, which is lovely, but alcohol is one of the things that I have to cut for a while, and I'm gonna have to make a lot of changes that are very difficult. And some of the changes that I need to make to this channel are going to be difficult as well, because I do like the way that they have been going, but sometimes it has to change anyway. So I will still be doing travel adventures, but it's not going to be like, it has been kind of the main content of this channel since I moved to Portland, really, and it's wonderful, but I see so many opportunities, like looking kind of bigger picture as a Northwest mermaid, or selkie, or whatever you want to call it, to kind of expand and include the Northwest, you know? I relate a lot to this area, and maybe not always Portland, but Portland has a lot to offer. I guess I'm going to try and do the best with what I've got, you know? I live in Portland. Right now, I'm blessed with the abundance of, my family gave me some money so that I can make this next step and buy my selkie tail and continue on with this adventure, and I'm so grateful. But after that, I mean, I'm looking realistically at not having a lot of money, and it was a difficult decision, just because I had the money to buy one tail, and the one tail that I've really been wanting is the what I call the hibiscus phoenix. Venus. That's a Freudian something or other. The Belle of the Sea, or the Belle of the Deep by Moonsong Mermaid. It's a tail. Since they came out with it, I've been in love with the tail. It's so beautiful. But ultimately, my selkie tail is the next part of the journey. And so hopefully Mer Taylor, you know, sees this loyalty and is like, hey guy, I see you're the only selkie that we know of that has bought our tail custom made. And I'll be like, yes sir, give me all your affiliations. That's how it's gonna go. I'm gonna end this video. Thank you for joining me. I hope to see you in the next adventure. I hope to see you soon. I'm not going to see you at all because I'm recording this on my phone. You have a wonderful night. Spawn.